And let me provide you just a summary background of how we came, to some extent, to today's event. My connection with the Air Canada air crash commenced in 2005, when my firm was engaged by the landowners who owned the property where the crash occurred to provide consulting services. And in the process, an archaeologist was engaged to investigate the crash from an archaeological perspective and to recommend a work plan which ultimately was approved by the Ontario Coroner's Office and the Ontario Registrar of Cemeteries. And as part of that work plan, a memorial garden was planned to be implemented. We didn't want to work in isolation, so we did at that time endeavor to contact as many families or relatives of the victims as possible. And we were slowly but surely working our way through the development approval process over the last few years. And approximately 2 months ago, Linda contacted the Mayor's office, who in turn passed the message on to Mark Yarrington, who is the planner for the developers, and myself. And we did meet with Linda at that time, along with Rebecca and Lynn Genova, who as a young girl lived close by and witnessed the air crash, as well as Chris Holliday, whose grandfather Claude died in the air crash. At the time we met, Linda indicated a very strong desire and wish that a 40th anniversary ceremony should be held to mark the event. And for those of you who know Linda, her enthusiasm is quite contagious, and we certainly felt that it was the right thing to do, and we embarked on a joint effort together so that we could come here today with this type of ceremony. Now, as part of the planning for the anniversary ceremony, we sort of reinvigorated our efforts to contact as many family members of the victims as possible. And in that process, I certainly have had the pleasure of speaking with many of you on the telephone or communicating by emails. And I have to say that I've never experienced such an outpouring of goodwill, graciousness, and positive feedback on any event previously. It was just tremendous. And that I will forever remember. So Linda, thanks to your involvement and inspiration, we are here today. Now, this is sort of a first, but it's a necessary step to remember those who lost their lives on that day. And as you're aware, the next step will be to ensure that there is a permanent resting place in the form of a planned memorial garden. We have completed some conceptual planning for the memorial garden. We've certainly have had input from the city staff, from the relatives of the victims that we've spoken to, from Lynn Genova, who was involved, who was, as I mentioned earlier, a young girl at the time of the air crash. And we've tried to incorporate that input into the planning of the garden. But I do want to stress that this is not finalized yet. And the reason it's not finalized is we do want to get input from relatives of the victims. This will be your memorial garden, where in the future you can come and visit, reflect, and in essence be there for your relatives. So we will, in the next weeks and months, and hopefully not that far ahead, want to canvass your support and to incorporate that into the final details. So as part of the development of the adjoining lands, the memorial garden will be put in place, and at that time a formal dedication ceremony will be held. And let us hope that when we all meet again, that we will all meet again with many others to formally dedicate the memorial garden. Now, our objective is to contact as many family members of the victims as possible. So we certainly solicit your help towards that objective. So any information that you have that would be of assistance, we really appreciate getting that, because at the end of the day, it is a memorial garden for all the victims, and we do want as many people represented as possible. I want to tell you that the landowners, some of whom are here today, are fully supportive of the memorial garden, and I thank them as well for their support of today's event. Of course, I want to thank Mayor Fennell and the City of Brampton for your tangible support in providing the shuttle bus service, brand new bus by the looks of it, today, and also for the symbolic roses which we will present later. That is really helpful. Thank you, Susan. On a personal note, I just would like to acknowledge Lynn Orr from our office, who has put many hours into planning this event. Thank you, Lynn. Now, as I mentioned earlier, this anniversary ceremony is your ceremony. We're there to help and to coordinate it, but it is your ceremony, where you can remember and honor your friends and your relatives. I know that a number of you would like to say a few words, so this is the part of the program where we will sort of open it up and invite you to share with us some of your thoughts. I know that it will be difficult for you to do that. I think that we would all benefit from your words to make us remember. So perhaps, Linda, if you wouldn't mind, if you could set the wheels in motion, I'd appreciate that.
I really didn't prepare anything because I wasn't planning on getting up here. And all I want to say is that Dermot is not taking the credit that he so deserves for making this all happen. Because when I got in touch with the City of Brampton and found out that plans were already well underway for a memorial garden, and walked into a meeting and saw pictures of this beautiful garden that were already planned, and so much thought and empathy has gone into it, there are no words to tell you how much we all appreciate it. Thank you. I also just want to say that I know that you're representing the landowners, but I'm so happy that you're here today because it means so much to me and my family, and I'm sure to everyone, that you are doing this for us and not just paving over it or building homes over it.
Thank you very much, Land. I know it's difficult for any family member to share your experience, and we really appreciate it.